Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and
And
this
I'm
is
Bryan
Popping
Penn.
Culture.
So sorry. My
My
bad.
guest today is comedian, co-host of the Vicious Pineapple podcast, and indie filmmaker Bryan Penn. Thank you so much for coming on to Popping Culture, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me into your bedroom. I
All
appreciate
right.
that.
Okay.
That's a beautiful
Guys,
dresser.
thank you, buddy. Uh, guys, if you haven't checked out Bryan Penn, definitely check him out. If he's in your city, very hilarious comedian, man. Um, the topic he chose was Greysexuals. Before we dive into that topic, whenever I have comedians on, a lot of people like to focus on bombing, but I'm more focused on succeeding. So, when was the first time you killed, and how did it feel?
First time I killed was the third time I ever did comedy. And it was at the Comedy Zone, their open mic in 2016, sometime in the winter months. And yeah, it felt amazing. Frenetic, blasty energy of just blah. People are like, "Oh my god, did you practice? That was how what do you do?" You know, a lot of compliments, a lot of cheers, and then it was all downhill from there. It was like this high, and then a massive valley, and then slowly working the way back up. I peaked so early.
That's good, man. Third time, though. That's really good to hear. Um, is anything else you've done in life compared to that feeling of killing on stage?
I had a foursome once. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Yeah. No
Yeah,
follow-up questions. No follow-up. I thought you were gonna say you gave a speech at a church, or like you helped a little league team, or
no. If a male comedian, sex is the number one answer. Trust me, sex. But when you said foursome, it was just like, oh, all right.
and then dead silence. Like, did I mess up? What's going
No,
on?
I was more like, that makes sense. Like that answer.
Once, and I couldn't make it happen again if I tried. It was a very lucky event.
That is yeah. I don't mean I didn't mean to pause. It was just like it's some things where like you be like, man, I think that might beat it. Like I ain't on front. That's what I was thinking. Like just man, but that's awesome, man. So wow, man. Yeah, that may beat it actually. That's
all right. I mean, if you
that's a
need time to
confidence
process.
booster.
Yeah, no, for real. And what I have nightmares sometimes about it not happening, because it was very tenuous and it almost didn't happen. And I'll have a nightmare where like I turned left instead of right and I lost the group, and then like, oh, or like I said something weird or cringy and killed the mood. There's so many ways it could have not happened, and it haunts me. And I go, shut up, don't think about that. It happened. Just live with that. Live your life. Be grateful. Don't think about how things could have gone.
Be grateful.
Yeah.
Guys, I'll say it again, guys. If he's in your city, Bryan Penn, very funny comedian. Please go see him. If you don't mind me being nosy, I know you have made films. I've seen a few of them on Facebook. Do you have a favorite, or do you like all of them the same?
Do I have a favorite? Interesting question. I like that they all exist. There are some that I'm like, meh, but no, I don't think I have a favorite necessarily. Yeah, I have enjoyed it. They're like kids, like imagine having your own offspring. Which one's your favorite? They're all part of the family. They're all part of the family of things that I've done, of short films. So I wouldn't necessarily say it the favorite. I wrote one for the first time, the 48-hour film festival that happened about a few weeks ago. I was a screenwriter for that. Looking forward to that coming out. And the latest one I did, the working title is "This Isn't Cum." It's a tale as old as time about whether or not a substance is or isn't cum. And the answer might surprise you. So check that out.
Okay. So this is like a remake from the video you did a couple months ago?
No, it's the same thing.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, cool. That was a hilarious video. very, very hilarious.
Very silly idea. It was one of those where like you ever have a joke idea and you're like, this doesn't work as a joke, but maybe as like a short film, this will work. So I told that as a joke a few times on stage. It was like, oh, okay, and then finally decided to go ahead and shoot the thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely been a lot of jokes where I would like write it out and be like, this is better on TikTok. This is
Yeah, this is not a joke. This is a TikTok. This is a tweet. This is a tweet
yes,
right here.
exactly. Um, the last thing I want to ask about Vicious Pineapple, guys. Very, very funny podcast. Please look it up.
Of course.
Very, very funny podcast. When you guys approach podcasting, do you guys like try to? Because I like I said, I enjoy it. Is it really top? I wouldn't say it's topic based, but do you guys kind of have a topic in mind before, or is everything like just free thought?
Yeah, I can't stress this enough. We put as little effort and planning into that podcast as humanly possible. I mean, we really push the boundaries on how little you can try and still put something out worth listening to. Honest, if only you knew how little thought went into it. But I think people are responding to the natural free flowing energy. And yeah.
Nice. All right. We'll get into the topic. Greysexuals. You chose the topic. Any special reason why?
It's anytime I think about it, I get real passionate about gray sexuality. Like I don't know what to tell you. It's like that's something I could talk about,
Nice. And for anybody watching it or listening that don't know what that means, can you explain it to them?
Well, from my research, and correct me if I get this wrong, but a greysexual is someone who is sometimes sexual and sometimes not sexual. A very large community comprises of roughly 100% of the planet, and I don't know why it's its own group, and I don't know how serious people are taking it or what it is, but it's wild. A greysexual. They've got their own flag. Greysexuals.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. How sexual are you feeling right now?
None at all at the moment.
None? Not even a little bit?
No.
Okay. Have you ever felt sexual?
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah. Well, my friend, I think you might be a greysexual. I think you qualify. I think you're in the group.
Ahead of the curve on this one. Yeah.
Yeah. We got jackets.
We got jackets.
I myself have been a greysexual for over a decade. Proud member.
Nice.
Card carrying.
The card. It's like Sam's Club, huh?
Exactly.
So, like I said, I did do research on it, but like I could not pinpoint when this became a thing. Do you know when this became pop thing?
I'm sure all of this stuff, all the things we're talking about, have their origins in the 70s. That's when everyone was doing the thing. Just nobody cared. So when it became got its own Wikipedia, probably like 2015, if I had to guess. Now the greysexual movement doesn't have a lot of momentum behind it, I guess, because of its ridiculousness. But if I had to imagine, but it is, it's one of the few pieces of our current culture and times that you can just viciously make fun of. Greysexuals and transracials they're the last respites of like, what the fuck are you doing? What? No, we're not. That's no. But and live it up while it lasts, because I'm gonna get canceled because of this in 10 years.
Yeah, as soon as you said it out loud, I was thinking like, "Fuck my podcast."
You didn't condone anything I'm saying. It's fine.
I hear you, but I want you to know that's not how counseling works. Like, so he kept him on the podcast. He didn't kick him off. I did research, and apparently, no celebrities are claiming this at the moment. If you had to think, none at the moment. At least me doing my research right now in 2021.
Okay.
If you had to guess a celebrity that would come out greysexual, or you would think would boast about being Greysexual, who do you think would come out first?
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Don't know why I agree,
Mhm.
but I agree.
I mean,
Yes, yeah,
you get it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
yeah,
I could see that.
100%.
Yeah.
Um, so like you said, it's really one of those things where it's very confusing. Well, it's not confusing. It's just more like it's very much like saying you're a normal person in a sense when I read it.
Yeah, but like it's the cheapest way to participate in, like, everyone's got their own little group. All you got to do to be in this little, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to change your pronoun. You don't have to dress different. You don't have to change your name. You don't have to suck a dick if you're not into that. You just have to be like, I'm not sexual right now, but I might be later. And now you're a gray sexual. But I think what it is like a big, large umbrella term that encompasses like demisexual and sapiosexual and all the weird sexuals that don't really matter. We just called those preferences, like, yeah. So it's not, I think it's supposed to encompass all of those weird sexuals. Those aren't sexuals. Like if I like taking long walks on the beach, I'm not a saunter sexual. Like it's just something I enjoy, but it doesn't count. If I want a sushi date before I bed somebody, that doesn't make me a seafood sexual. It's just something that you don't get to do that. It's not a thing.
Seafood sexual. That's hilarious. Um, so the only way I can see this really getting like great momentum is like I said, I had no clue about it till I did research, and B, I wouldn't say that celebrities have to come out as something for it to gain more popularity, but it does help. But the biggest way I can see this is getting a good boost of momentum is if this becomes just more a common term. Like I said, I'm not sure if they put these kind of terms in textbooks. I don't know, but I can't really see this picking up momentum unless one of the three of those things happen. Do you see any other way that this can build momentum?
Well, the problem is it's never been illegal to only be attracted to smart people, sapiosexual. Like it's never been a crime to only be attracted to people who you have an emotional relationship with, demisexual. Like it's not right. It's got to be you can't be oppressed if you are 100% of the population. Like there's nobody to fight against. So it'd be so weird. Like, could you imagine a world where you are discriminated against by minor dating preferences? Like, I don't like when people pay for my dinner. I'm an independent sexual or something, and then you can't get a job because of that. It's
It's just if somebody like even reading it, if somebody told me I really don't want to offend. We are not here to offend anyone that's a great sexual. But if someone told
we're
me
not here to offend the entire human race. So
yeah,
not. Well, we
it's just
can
one
say
of
this because we're Greysexuals.
yes, that's true. Yes, I yes, 100%.
Mhm.
It's just one of those things. If somebody came out as a great sexual, I would like it. I would like it on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I type congrats. Like I don't know. I
No,
like it, but I don't know if it's gonna be like, man, glad you came out. Like I don't know.
I type K period.
He really would do that, guys. Yes.
I
So when it comes to their contributions to pop culture, uh, I think one of the biggest gray sexuals, or if he considered himself gray sexual, would be Prince. Prince very much would I say put that into his music because of course he had highly sexual music, but then he also had music where he was just like, I just want to relax.
Yeah.
Is there any other musical artist that you would say had that kind of influence?
Well, musical artist.
Yeah.
I'd imagine Beethoven. Beethoven, being a human and therefore a great sexual, his influence on the musical community immeasurable by me because I don't really know which works for his, but really all of them, every single musician who's ever existed, the Beatles, all of the Beatles, the Wu-Tang Clan, one of the most prominent Greysexual hip hop groups that I'm aware of. I listen to 36 Chambers of Death a lot. Protect Your Neck, and Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls, an amazingly influential Greysexual. Who else were the late great DMX? He just passed, bless him, but Greysexual as well.
100%.
100% Greysexual, for sure. Yeah. A lot of rappers. I don't know why I named so many rappers.
No, all of them would definitely be Greysexual. I'm thinking how many kids DMX had, and he was I don't know. Maybe he wasn't a Greysexual.
Well, he might have been all the ways sexual. He was just sexual. Okay. We found someone who wasn't a Greysexual.
Yeah. So we moved from musical icons that are Greysexuals. We talked about Ashton Kutcher. Is any other actors that you really spoke in terms of that you would believe were Greysexual, more than just their acting, but actually spoke on it?
That actually spoke about their Greysexuality?
Or spoke in terms of Greysexual, like sometimes they spoke about being I guess turned on, spoke about not being turned on. I guess that's weird for actors in a sense, because with music, they can just vocalize it. As an actor, I can't really think of one that really, like you said, it's not something they really have to speak about.
Right. I don't follow a lot of actors, I'm realizing. So I tried to yes and this. Like, all right, who do I know who's an actor who speaks a lot about homosexuality? Because surely actors speak about that. But I wouldn't know, because I honestly don't know which actors are gay. Now, all the actors are gay, but I don't know like who's speaking about their sexuality and they're not. Daniel Day-Lewis. I retract everything I said. It's Daniel Day-Lewis. He speaks a lot about his Greysexuality. He also, I think he's a carpenter. I think I heard or like he makes shoes or something.
I could totally believe that. I could
tell you what. I'll Google this. I'll fact check myself real quick. Does Daniel Day? I don't know how to spell his name at all. Also, I didn't know this. Daniel Day-Lewis is 3 names. I thought his last name was Day-Lewis. I didn't know that. Yes. Make shoes. Although his method acting is legendary, he had not been offered the yada 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 yada. Inconclusive. Here I'm back. What's going on?
Okay, cool.
Not worth the time.
While we're on this topic, talking about actors, as an indie director, who are some of your influences when it comes to directors?
Honestly, I feel like, okay, who are some of my influences when it comes to directors? Interesting question. I'm going to say Kevin Smith. I got some Kevin Smith influence there. Who else? Some influences when I got a little bit of. I feel weird talking about my directorial influences because I'm so not experienced or haven't really done a lot of substantial work that all I'm saying is I've seen movies and liked them. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I need to have more skill and be more proficient before I can claim that I've been influenced by certain directors. It feels weird. It feels like, I get a lot of my stuff from this famous person. Like, oh, do you? Do you really? I don't know. So there are directors that I like, and there's films I'm like, oh, I hope to make films like that someday. But I feel like until I've made a motion picture that's 90 minutes in length, it's hard for me to claim directorial influence.
Okay. Okay. If I could just ask about one director and we'll move off this topic. I'm a big film nerd, and one of my favorite directors, even though this guy loves the N-word more than anybody else,
is Quentin Tarantino.
As someone as an indie director like yourself, and I can imagine future making direct motion pictures, man. I truly see yourself doing it. Why is he so popular when it comes to other directors? Like, I understand for me, I think he's a great director, but why is he so popular when it comes to other directors?
Do you mean why do other directors regard him with such awe?
Yes.
Well, I would say it is likely because his track record for successful giant films is astounding. He's done like 8 films, and the worst one was probably like Jackie Brown. That's the name of it, right? Jackie Brown. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if it's the worst one because I've never seen it, but that's the one most people. I think it's that. Now he does borrow a lot from a lot of other movies. He kind of like, it's like watching his movie is like watching a mixtape of a bunch of other movies. But I'm not actually that film literate. So I don't know. It just seems like this crazy, wild thing that works for some reason. But I really think that's part of it. Is like he makes movies that have some kind of substance that are also wildly popular for the general audience. Like any random person can go watch Kill Bill and be like, "Oh fuck, what the shit? What?" I overreacted. I have blueberry pie. It sat wrong. But yeah, that's hard to do. Usually, if you make a film that's wildly popular with some standard moviegoer, some guy munching popcorn, it's going to be like a Fast and the Furious, or it's going to be something really dumb, but whatever. It's got explosions. Except for his, it's got a lot of style and cinematography and good writing and great acting, and it's wildly popular amongst people. So, part of it is it makes a lot of money. You get it. His films are like celebrities amongst films.
Okay, cool.
So, in my humble opinion.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that, man. I truly appreciate you. To get back to Greysexuals, and like I said, no way to disrespect them at all. We already said we are too.
We are, yeah. Fuck them.
Why
or don't. It depends on what they want.
In your opinion, what do you think the name is why people don't know what it is? Because Greysexuals, not saying it's not a name that doesn't pop out at you, but the word gray really doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't, I guess, make it pop. Like, it doesn't make it like, oh, I'm a Greysexual. It's just like, oh.
Well, here's the thing. There is a phobia, a fear of cotton balls. There's a phobia that describes the fear of cotton balls. Now, I don't know what the Latin word wakadakaphobia, what it actually is, because it doesn't matter and it doesn't serve me in any way to know that. The reason why most people don't know what a Greysexual is because you can get by in life, your entire life, never having heard the term Greysexual. It doesn't matter. It's because the term doesn't matter. That's why I don't know. It could be called a green sexual, except for that'd be cool. That's someone who's attracted to leprechauns. There's probably a whole subreddit about that. I've seen it. I made it. But I don't think it's so much the term. It's just like it's such a nothing thing that it doesn't interact with anyone's life in any meaningful way. Now the OGs, man, the real gangsters, homosexuals, bisexuals, lesbosexuals. That's got some clout. That's like the Quentin Tarantino of sexualities. Like the Greysexuals is like Macaulay Culkin or something. I don't know. It's David Spade.
David Spade. Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you think what do you think is the next move for Greysexuals?
All right. Next move for Greysexuals. First off, they're gonna have to make a splash. All right. They gotta make a big, giant cultural impact, right? Some sort of benefit. Greysexuals support Haiti or something like that. I think that's step one. Get your name out there. Step two, look, Greysexuals, you got a big roster. Okay, you're gonna have to drop some of your lesser players. Okay, you can't carry the whole team. They're dragging you down. Like people who are attracted to individuals who bathe regularly, you got to cut them. All right, they don't make the cut. They're diluting your team. They're diluting your purchasing power. All right, step three, you're gonna have to recruit at least 5. You're gonna want to get some Scientologists in there. If Tom Cruise could come out publicly as a Greysexual, I think that would really help you politically as well as culturally, financially. You need some bigger names. And lastly, you need to have some sort of tragedy. I mean, like a lot of people need to get wiped out for being Greysexual specifically. You know, it's a sad fact, but you got to have like a never forget the Greysexuals. Everyone will wear gray, and you know, I Love Lucy will be a great show because it's in black and white, aka gray. Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Cool. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say about this topic?
You know what? As a proud member of the Greysexual community, I just want to thank you for boosting our platform. You know, raise the, what was it? Amplify the voices of those everybody, because Greysexual is everybody. I don't know what I'm saying.
But man, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast, talk about that Greysexuals. Is there anything you want to say to your fans? And please tell them where they can follow you.
To my fans, hi Steve.
Great seeing you.
Yeah, you can find me at The Penn Project. That's THE Penn Project. I'm not going to spell in public. That's awful. On all social media. I'm most active on Instagram, though, to be honest. I'll post funny stories and a short video every now and again. The next time I'm doing comedy, I don't remember. I never remember. So just follow my story, and I'll be like, hey, guys, I'm here next week. And you'll see it there when this comes out 3 months from now.
All right. Thank you again for coming on. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and have an amazing day.